Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nate G. It's Tuesday, December 19th. We're going to do a scanning session here on a 30-minute squeeze scan. And as you can see, I have Thinkorswim up. I have a 5-minute chart. I have a 30-minute chart. I have a 78-minute chart, a daily, and a weekly. And we're going to go through these scans and on the left hand side with my 30-minute squeeze scan and see if we can find any charts that we like, and then we're going to bring them over into TradingView and we're going to mark them up, right? So here's where we start. We're going to start with CVS. I don't love it. It's kind of in a long-term squeeze. The daily chart's a little chunky, so I'm going to move on. I do like this ZS on this 78 minute. It doesn't quite have a squeeze, but it does on the 30, and it probably does on the hourly. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper and write that one down. So I have ZS on the 78 minute. Microsoft is next. I don't really see much that I like, but I do in terms of shorter term time frames. But I do really love this daily chart. So I'm going to write Microsoft down on the daily, and we are definitely in an uptrend here on the weekly. So I really like that one. So I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to keep rolling here. Spot, I don't see anything that I like. STX. STX is interesting, but it's just got this, I just don't like the way this pattern is forming up. This feels pretty toppy right here. So I'm going to leave that one alone for the time being and just keep going down my list. I really like that PANW. Wow, PANW on the 78 minute. Do you see what I'm seeing here? That is very pretty. And we're in an uptrend here, right? Daily's in an uptrend. Weekly's clearly in an uptrend. Wish we would have caught this weekly squeeze there. That would have been a beauty. So I'm going to write PANW. 78 minute. Okay. And then we're just going to keep moving, and then we'll mark these up. I don't love that chart. Google I do like. I was playing Google yesterday on like a 5-minute chart. It's setting up. I bet it has a gorgeous little 15-minute here. Yeah. That's interesting. I'll write Google on the 15, right? 15-minute. And then we can just kind of check all these charts out. Let's see, LNG. Nothing I like there. Schwab. I don't like that pattern. GEHC. That's interesting. That 78 is kind of interesting. I'm probably going to leave it alone, though. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. Disney. I'm going to leave that alone. BBY. BBY maybe on a hourly. I don't love the weekly over here. I'm going to leave BBY alone. No, I'm going to write it down. I'd like to see it on TradingView chart. BBY, let's go on the 1 hour. Make sure to change this back to a 30-minute. And I'm sorry if I'm missing questions in chat. I'll get to those in a second. I just kind of want to roll through these. HD is interesting. HD on the 30-minute. That is what we call high and tight, right? You see this? We are talking high and tight. And God, are we in an uptrend or what? but I kind of want to see what it looks like right through here because we've made new highs, right? So I'm just going to write that down and I'm going to move on here. Let's see here. Airbnb. Oh yeah, I like that. I bet 30-minute is a little long. 78-minute is only a 1 dot. So what does that tell you? Or what does that tell me, right? We're going to go A, B, in B, and I'm going to look at a 1 hour or a 65 minute technically. MMM has almost the exact same problem. Or MMM, I'm going to look at on a 1 hour. MU is interesting. Can anybody tell me what might be a problem with MU? Just at first glance, if you're for 10 DPL bucks. Anyone? It's kind of a trick question. I kind of like the chart though, so it might be worth looking at. No, there's squeezes. I guarantee there's an hourly squeeze. There's definitely a 30-minute squeeze, a tight 30-minute squeeze. There's a 1 dot on the 78. Yep, Joe got it. Were you the first to get it, Joe? Nice. We're looking at earnings here 2 days from now. I'm going to write it down, though, because sometimes you can get a nice little run. I'm going to look at the 1 hour, but I'm going to put a star because it has some earnings. Let's go UNP. Nah. Workday. Nah, don't like it. Not smooth enough. HON. Don't love that one. LMT. Don't love that one. MPC. I'll get rid of my yellow lines here. Sorry. Don't love that one. NXPI. I don't like the shape of that. PSX looks like it's about ready to break out. God, every time PSX comes up, I don't know. There's nothing I like there, but other than just, I mean, this thing is just going. I'm not going to actually write that down. I'm scratching it out. I have a bunch of other names to look at. No. Snow. Somebody was bringing up Snow earlier. Snow is kind of interesting. I'm going to pass. AVT. Pass. CRM. God, that broke out today, didn't it? Did you guys trade CRM? Sharky, I can see if Garmin comes up on my scan or not. Dash. Don't need it. SWKS. We have CNC, CRM. I think we've probably got everything. Take two. ABBV is also high and tight, but I'm a little concerned on the weekly chart of ABBV. Can anybody tell me why I might be a little concerned when I glance at this weekly chart? Yeah, this is Thinkorswim. Yeah, no trend, but I mean, if you look at this daily, I'd consider that a trend. I'd consider this a trend, right? It doesn't have to be a massive trend. Can anybody spot what might be a problem on ABBV? Yeah, so for me, and I actually looked at this earlier, so I'm just sort of talking through thought process. I immediately see, and I know this is a smaller chart, but I immediately see that. That doesn't mean we can't break above it, but that kind of shows up as a resistance level, right? So that makes me nervous that we're going to roll from here for a little bit. So I'm going to pass on ABBV. But I do like this pattern. This is high and tight over here on the 78. GD, I'm going to pass on it. Pass. J and J, pass. DocU. Wow. I'm going to pass. I don't like the shape of that. ACN, pass. AVGO. Wow. I'm just going to write AVGO down because holy cow, that thing's on a run. Maybe there's a good spot to enter. EA, no. KLAC. I'm going to pass. MDGL. Interesting. I'm going to pass. ULTA. ULTA is great. You know, this 78-minute daily, 195. But I just have so many other names on here. I'm going to pass. I know a bunch of us are in that anyway. What just happened to my chart? Oh, there's only one more. And VRTX. I'm going to pass on VRTX. Looks toppy. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 good ones and one possible or two possible. Just like I'm curious what these are going to be. Okay, you ready for me to shift over to TradingView? Let's make that shift, and then let's look at these, and we'll mark them up and see if we can find something good to trade on a TPS style trade. So let me do that. Let me do that. Everybody can still hear me okay. We are in business. Okay, so first one was ZS on a 78-minute. Yeah, look at this. ZS 78-minute. What's the daily look like? Good Lord. We're going to see anything up in here? Yeah, we're up above that. Man, if we can clear, what's that, 340? Okay, so let's look at the 78-minute chart. Let's get ourselves zoomed in. This is also high and tight, right? We're looking to break over this high. We're almost there. So for ZS for me, so here is our, let's basically draw, that's our value area high and our value area low. Okay, so we're basically 220 to 224. I like to make those yellow. Right? And then we'll put our point of control right there. And we'll make it red. And I'm going to come back and look at this on like a 10-minute chart. See how we're playing this value area high, value area low range. I'd love to see a pullback to either, I guess this level would be a good level to take. And then you could also maybe take an entry there. So I'm going to put an alert here. And then I'm going to put an alert here and see if I can get a pullback to either one of those two levels. Jeff P, what are you asking? What isn't available to copy? This is a volume profile. You can find it VRVP. So that's ZS on the 78-minute. It's a little extended. It needs to come down into at least this level. Or what happened to that other red line? Did I accidentally deleted it. Or to that level. And if we come down here into these yellow areas, I mean, that's a great risk reward area, right? My alert here on ZS is at 223 and 222, basically. Pullbacks into those areas would be great spots to take a shot. Okay, the next one, and I know Nate's drawn this one up, is Microsoft. I had a trade there a lot earlier. We're on the daily. Yeah, it's using that all-time highs as its support level, essentially. Right, let's bring this dotted line up. Let's get rid of this one. So I've already got some lines on here which are going to be helpful. All-time highs here is our value area low, right? This is our point of control, so really we need to get up and over that level. And today would have been a great day. Or on this dip yesterday would have been a great day to go long. So I like it, but as you can see, it's got to get over this level here. Right? But as long as I found a good entry, you know, my targets on this, you know, our risk reward levels should be pretty good here, right? Because if we're going to take an extension here, you know, high to this low, okay, and then we're going to play to the 1272 as our target, and we're going to take an entry, let's say, well, let's say right here, right off that 21. Let's say we're taking an entry off the 21, which is a decent area VP wise. Okay, so we wait for an entry there. Our stop is that level of all-time highs, and we're targeting, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, we're targeting there. It's almost a 5-to-1 risk reward level. See that? I mean, even if you're targeting a test of the highs, you're still, you know, 3.5-to-1, roughly. Yeah, you want the Thinkorswim scan. Hold on, I can share that with you. There's my 30-minute squeeze scan. Right there. Okay, so, but I would target, you know, a push through the high. So that would be a 5-to-1, roughly. So I like that trade a lot. What else were we looking at? We were looking at PANW on the 78. PANW on the 78 is interesting. Getting rounding. What do we look at on the 130? No, not enough on the 130. So you see this point of control level here. For me, I would need a push down into that level, and or here's a value area high, right? Our ticks are coming up above 600, so things are pushing. I would love an entry off this red level at 307, which I'm going to set an alert at. But then another way we could play this is a retest of this. God, we had a great entry earlier today. But again, then we're playing with, where's our stop level? For me, the stop would be way down here, right? And so even if I'm targeting, I have to wait for a better entry, right? If I took an entry here, like let's say I took an entry right now and that was my stop and my target is there, it's not even a 2-to-1 risk reward, right? It's too extended. We need it to be down here. So we have a 4 or 5-to-1 risk reward. Does that make sense? Like I like PANW, but right here it's a little tough because it's extended. So I want an entry at that red, either at this red point of control level. So I would take 3 different entries here, right? You could, if you really liked it, take it on just a pullback to that value area high. But I wouldn't want to go full size. Okay, that's entry number 1. You could wait and get a move down into the point of control and try to take it long, right? That's maybe 2/3 of a position for me, right? Or, and it may never get here, but if you got to move down into this level, then you could go full size, or I could go full size. I would. Whatever that is, because your risk reward is so tight. Anything below that is a stop out. And then, when it does that, you're probably looking at, this and then here and then here, and it's going to work its way up like that. Is Netflix on the move? Okay, so PANW is good. Google, yeah, I mean, Google's on the move. I'm in Google at the moment. It's a trailer from earlier this morning, but it's pushing with the ticks that are pushing. So I don't even know if that I want to mark that one up because it's already extended. That was a 15-minute. We should have maybe checked that one first because it was most likely going to go first. We have BBY on the one. Oh, excuse me. On the 1 hour. It doesn't really have enough of a squeeze. What is the 30-minute? A little extended. I mean, BBY is kind of the same. See this point of control down here? My most ideal entry would be there. So I'm just going to set an alert there. Right? I would be targeting a move up into, 78, 90, somewhere around in there. We've got a nice uptrend going. So that seems pretty reasonable. But I need a good spot for an entry, right? Risk reward here is, I mean, let's say you were, or I guess I should rephrase that. Let's say I was down into, this would be my stop level at 76.65. So again, right, if I want to take it here, my risk reward, if it got all the way to there, is it's almost a 1-to-1, 1.34. But if I waited for a pullback to there, now I'm, 5.5-to-1. Jay Van, I picked the value area high and the value area low. the point of control based on what I see over here in the volume profile. And then it also kind of shows up on the chart as well. Risk reward indicator here, and a trade indicator. You know, once you put on a trade, like for instance, you can see in Google, I put that on back here. So right now it's just tracking that trade for me. I can kind of see when it hits up here. That's my exit. This is my stop level. I took it yesterday, so VWAP was my stop at the time. It's only really a 2-to-1, but that's okay. Ticks, yeah, the NYSE ticks. Yep, cumulative tick right here. We were getting some plus 600s there for a minute, but Qs are still holding that all-time high level. All right, I know I'm moving kind of fast here. So there's the BBY trade, but I'm waiting for a pullback. You know, you could wait for a pullback to this 77.48 level too, but it's more risky. Way more risky. Whoops, don't do that. Let's do that. See, and you can really start to track these levels on, you know, like a 5-minute time frame and see where you are. Okay, so what's the other one? We had BBY, we had HD, right? I don't like that chart. What did I like about that chart? Oh, that's what I liked about that chart. Let's see. I mean, you're up into this stuff here, but that's so long ago. HD is pumping. I don't think I like HD as much as I did when I saw it on TOS. Although, there's just not a lot of range here. You could play it. I might play it for a quick hit. I don't know. I mean, and just to move up into the high here. I mean, it's rounding. Let's try Airbnb. Those are the, and I have one more. And then I actually have to, oh yeah, I like this one. What did I like, Airbnb? A 1 hour. Let's go to a 65. Oh yeah, that's high and tight. Look at this VP level here. Value area low. It's almost a 1-to-1 risk reward here, which I don't love. But some of these, you know, some of these can be quick hits. What are we looking? We're looking to play up into 150. Yeah, topped out at 150. So if you're hitting this, you know, right now, what are you playing? You're playing almost a 1-to-1, I'm guessing. Yeah, maybe a 2-to-1. But this is a pretty nice level for to take a shot off. Let's look at it bigger here. Yeah. Airbnb is interesting. And then finally, I'd like to take a shot at it lower. I'd like a shot off of this 145 level. That'd be great. Actually, that's a 146 level. Risk reward is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. It's called a long position. Long position. There's also a short position. Just helps you figure your risk reward, and then when you take a trade, you can just leave it on your chart, and it reminds you. I mean, you have to look. It doesn't have an alert, but it reminds you when to take profits and when to stop out. So let me do one more. MMM on the 1 hour, which was kind of interesting to me, I think. Yep. Let's see. right there, aren't we? Let's see what that looks like over here. Yeah, that's interesting as well. I would be waiting for, if I could get entry on MMM off of 106. So what I'm going to do here is set an alarm. Okay. And then my value area low would kind of be, well, that's a tough one. I might actually put it right there. You know, so then your risk reward, if you got it off of there, tight stop, push to the high, you know, that's a over 6-to-1 risk reward. That's pretty good. So I like MMM as well. I mean, you could even, let's see, what's VP say? You could even leave a trailer on, you know, for kind of a 108.62 level. You know, secondary target. My first target would be a push of the highs there. Okay. So we just went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charts that we liked. And set up possible trade plans on all of them, right? And so that's the grind, right? The grind is going through your charts, going through your scans, finding charts that look good, marking them up, creating a trade plan, setting alerts, and then waiting until your alerts get triggered. Does that make sense to everyone? And sometimes that's using different different charting platforms. I personally use Thinkorswim and TradingView. D-Man uses E-Trade and TC2000. It's but this is the grind, and this is the grind with one edge, right? The TPS setup edge. Right? We did this thing with TPS only. That's trend pattern squeeze, right? And we were really only looking at, right, 30-minute, really 30-minute and 78-minute. We have a daily on there, but that was this is kind of our, or this for me, I love this pocket, right? 30-minute, 78-minute. But then you have to go in and mark your charts up, figure out your trade plan, right? I think there was one here, maybe it was HD, I can't remember, that I started marking it up and I said I didn't like it because there was the risk reward, there wasn't enough range to the upside. And so I bailed on it. But I still have, now my watch list is, you can create a new watch list. ZS on the 78, Microsoft on the daily, PANW on the 78. Oh, Google already fired, right? So Google's out. BBY on the hourly, HD on the 30-minute, Airbnb on the 1 hour, MMM on the 1 hour. And when I say 1 hour, that's a 65-minute. It's essentially the same thing, and then I have these trade plans and I have alerts on levels where if it comes into, I'd like to be notified so that I can decide whether I want to take the trade, or if the market looks like it's breaking down and maybe I don't want to take the trade. But I at least want to be notified because I'm not staring at all 8 of those charts all day long, right? I'm looking at other things. But if those alerts are there, when they go off, a little box will show up down here, and I'll be like, oh, look, I have an alert on MMM. I'm going to jump over there and see what it's doing. And I have everything marked up. I know where my stop level would be. I know where I want to take it. I know where my ultimate profit target would be. I've got my green box drawn in here so I can quickly go, okay, this is a 6-to-1 risk reward. That's a great risk reward. I like this trade here. So I don't have to go, what should I do? How much should I take? What's my risk reward? When it hits that level and the thing goes off, I just have to come over and decide, do I like this trade currently with the current market environment? And do I want to take it? Right? That's it. And that's sort of the grind. And you know what I could do is open up a tab for each one of those names with those drawings on it so that it's even easier. You know, right now, if one of them came up, I'd have to go, oh, shoot, ZS just had an alert that go off, so I'd have to hit ZS. But look, I got my lines on here. I've got my alerts. I know what's going on. I could even type in notes here. I like ZS off of this level. So, yeah, I'm recording, Z. I'm just about to wrap it up. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I know Nate Bear put a message in chat that he might not be able to come on at the end today. Same here with Airbnb because he's got some family stuff going on. So it's the holidays. We've all got a bunch of stuff going on. Yeah, that's a lot of drawings, isn't it? So I went a little longer today to try and fill some time. So I hope that was helpful. I'll get this posted for anybody who wants to watch it again, and I'll talk to everyone tomorrow. I won't be back on today. The risk reward indicator here is probably the third or fourth one down. If you click the little arrow, there's a long position and a short position. All you do is choose it. You know, click it once where you're going to buy or where your buy target is, and then you can move. This is the short one that I have up now. You can move these to your profit target and your stop out levels, and it'll tell you what your risk reward is. Yep, I sure will, Ed. Post to YouTube. Yep, it should be up there in I don't know, hour or two, as long as it takes to load. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later.